to the Peter Parker Show. How's it going, guys? Welcome back. It's working. As you can see, there's something a little different about my bike. Yes, that's right. We did it, boys. We changed her to a 72 volt kit. The speed right now displayed is kilometers, so I'm not going 46 right now. I'm just probably going like 30. So let's see how I do on this hill. Doing pretty good, actually. Doing pretty good. A little bit of rubbing going on with the rear brake, but there's no real way to fix it. We tried. Ali, by the way, is the one that did all this conversion, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, there's a little bit of rubbing in the rear because the disc is just not quite fitting in the dropout correctly. It must be because I have an old frame, maybe. It's possible. I like that I can be up to speed with everybody else. Pretty much. This is the first time me riding it, so these are my first thoughts on it. My first impressions. It is a little scary, I'm not gonna lie, just because I don't have any suspension, so it's very scary when it comes to that. But I really love it so far. I'm really amazed by Ali's work. He did such a good job, and I'm so proud of him for doing these conversions and being so confident about it. I did so many changes to my bike. I recently, I don't know if you guys have seen my Instagram post, but I posted my batteries for sale. So my batteries, my motor, a lot of the little things that I had on this bike. Got rid of the 10-speed kit because I knew I just wasn't going to use it for this bike. And yeah, I'm really upgrading to the next level. This is probably one of the first S2s to ever do that. Usually there are RXs that do that. Let's see if we can go fast. Scary. Oh, that was really scary. I do not want to do that again. Take some curbs super quickly. That was really scary. Yeah, I'm gonna make a left here. My blinkers have also been changed. Unfortunately, they just don't fit with the 72 volt kit that I had, which kind of sucks because I really like those by Illuminate. They did such a great job with them. But yeah, it's a bummer. I had to sacrifice a few things, a few accessories, but we'll go into detail later about it when I do a little breakdown on the bike. So yeah, guys, this is the bike. Pretty amazing how it looks very similar to what we had in the past, to what we had with our stock bike. Just minor little changes and also very major changes. Minor as in like we switch the rotors with Magura rotors, but they're a little bit thinner, so they kind of look like the Shimano's that usually come stock. But at the same time, we change the brakes to Magura, and these have the sensors to cut off the power, which I really like because I feel like I just don't trust this bike without any sensors. It's just kind of a peace of mind to know that this will work. I ended up switching the throttle. Ali had a really nice one that he swapped. It's a little high up, so I'm going to switch it down a little bit when I go home, but it definitely is not sticky like the stock one was, and I like the quality. Seems to be really good compared to the last one I had. And I just also was going to mention how cool the Maguras are, not only because of the of their braking power, because I love these really thick, super thick brake levers. Really nice. Makes me feel like I actually have control of the grip and also of the brake lever when I press it. And it's also nice to know that the sensors will cut off the power, like I said earlier. Before I go any further, I just want to say that Ali did all this work. I did not partake in any of this stuff. He is doing all this stuff himself. He's starting kind of a side hustle or a small little business on the side. He started doing it for the love of the game, and now he's doing it professionally, and he's getting really good at it. And I highly recommend him. If you guys want to do the conversion yourself, I'll put a link down in the description below with his where you can reach him and talk to him about doing a future conversion. He's not taking any right now at the moment. He's taking a break for quite a while. He's a little overwhelmed with a lot of stuff, but he eventually will come back and will start doing conversions again, and I'm sure he'll get quite a bit maybe after this video. But anyway, going back to the conversion, he also swapped the lights to these blinkers, which are right here. Unfortunately, no front blinkers, but I do have rear blinkers that are kind of nice, and they're also pretty noticeable as well. He put also these rear brakes, or rear brake lights. They don't blink when I brake, but they do stay on, which is kind of nice. It makes it look like more like a E-moto vibe to it. It's nice and bright, so people can see me from behind, which is nice to know that people will actually see me in the dark. Kept the cane built, which I really love. But enough of that. Let's go back to the conversion. Have the lights here. This is for the rear light. Turn it on and off. I like to leave it on, as I said, because people can hear me or see me. And then I have the horn, which is right here, and it's pretty loud. Not super loud, but loud enough for people to actually see me. As you can see, I still haven't done the cable management. I haven't hidden it pretty well yet, but I will eventually start hiding it very well when I figure out a better way to do it. But everything, all the lights, also the front light as well, is connected. Still have that connected to a old school little battery pack like I used to do back in the day. It's in fact the same battery pack that I have, and I just hid it in here in this Rock Bros, which is apparently waterproof. This is something that Ali provided for me to keep the controller dry, which I really appreciated. But the only thing I don't like about it is that we're going back to the roots of the channel, which is the bulkiness of the look. And I just don't want to have too much on the bike, but this is the most minimal I can do right now. I can't unfortunately hide the controller under the seat because it will be poking out too much, and in fact it will be kind of literally coming out like these rear lights are. So I rather just put it underneath the battery because it's more hidden and it's more kind of slick. But here's a controller. I'm not going to open it too much, but it's a 3 watt controller. It's super bulky in there. Ali did all the cable work in there really well. And here is the battery pack, the old school one that I used to use back in the day. And we just hide it by literally just doing that. These are kind of poking out, but most of the water should remain outside because it's all covered. And it doesn't rain a lot. It's been raining a lot in LA lately, but I haven't been riding my bike. So, but yeah, I don't like to go riding when it's, you know, raining, because there's a lot of risks that could happen to the bike. So I like to ride when it's not raining. But anyway, going back to the brakes, I was going to mention as well, these are four piston Magura calipers, so they have really good stopping power. We changed the rotor to a nice really thick E-moto rotor. Unfortunately, this one rubs because the dropout is just not aligned quite right for the type of rotor and the type of caliper we're putting on, so I have to kind of fade out a little bit of the pads for it to stop rubbing, which is going to be quite a while, maybe 4 or 5 days from now. But the front one is apparently freewheeling, so there's no rubbing going on. I was going to change the fork, but I ended up not doing it because it was just so complicated and I have to get the dimensions quite right. I don't want to go with an Alibaba that I'm not quite sure. I have to talk to Session 73 about that, since he's the expert of doing that, and he's also more confident about how to do it and what to do. So maybe I'll reach out to Session 73. Shout out to Session 73, and he can help me out with a decent fork for the S2. As you can see, the centerpiece of the whole thing is the battery. 72 volt battery, apparently called Canon, and has a little meter here so you can see what the meter of the battery is, which is probably fully charged, and a nice little color display here which has a little bit of dust on, but don't worry about that, which is kind of like the ones that Spark CycleWorks uses, very similar if not the same one. And the battery is 100%. I just literally rode it for, I don't know, I would say a mile, 2 miles, and I still have 100%, which is pretty amazing. This is right now in kilometers. I don't know how to switch to miles. I was trying to mess with the settings, but I don't want to mess with it too much because I don't want to, like, you know, mess with it. So I'm gonna do some research on how to change that to miles, but right now it's in kilometers. And unfortunately this has less range than my my other batteries, which was 65 miles I believe of range with the ChiBattery and my stock, but this one apparently is about 20 miles, maybe 25 if I'm a skinny legend. But yeah, I think for now we're gonna test it and see how the range is, but so far it's doing pretty good. 100 miles or 100% for a couple miles is pretty good. What else? Yes, I did mention that the controller was 3000 watts, but because I don't want to put too much power into the bike, I asked Ali if he could tone it down to 2.5. I was gonna do a 2000 watt motor, or sorry, yeah, I was gonna do a 2000 watt motor and a 2000 watt controller, but I was just afraid that I would just miss out on future, I don't know, just have FOMO for a little bit more torque or a little bit more speed. I'm not gonna go super fast with the bike, but I just want to go a little bit faster, and I ended up just going 3 watts and 3000 watts and 3000 watts with the bike. It does add a little bit of weight to the rear, but I think that's fine because battery's pretty heavy as well, and I'm gonna be leaning on the bike anyway when I ride, so putting a little bit of weight in the front, so balance out hopefully. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have right now. I was gonna get rid of the pedals, but I ended up leaving them on, and the crank arms I ended up just leaving that just so it looks like a bike still, or it looks like a stock Super 73, which I kind of still dig. I still have the horn there where I left it last time, except that the cables are sideways instead of downwards. I have a single speed now, so I can pedal, but it's unfortunately really heavy, so it will be done maybe, hopefully, if will work if I'm out of juice and I need to pedal somewhere close by, which I hope it doesn't happen. But pretty much that's it, guys. I kept the E-Huntsman on there because they're great tires. I love them. I really love these tires, man. I wish I had another set. I kept the stock front wheel as it is with the spokes that are crossed. These spokes are not crossed. I'm pretty sure they did that because of the amount of torque and speed and weight it has, so they probably have just heavy duty spokes, and that's the reason why they're not cross spokes. I had a whole conversation with Ali yesterday about it, but I'm sure they did it for a reason. I put these little zip ties on here because we're trying to figure out how to put the basically the fender a little higher up, but because they usually hang from here, it's a little harder to lift them. So for now we just have these little ugly zip ties. They're kind of lifting it up all the way up in case there's splashes on the road. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna get hit by a car. I'm in Brentwood, one of my least favorite places to be in the whole fucking world. But here we are, and that's pretty much my conversion, guys. Ali is incredibly talented. He did all this by himself with no help. I just think he is incredible. I do think there's a little bit of room for improvement in some things, but it's obviously not his fault. It's just things that are just designed flaws of the bike that don't work when you upgrade it. The dropout with the caliper doesn't rest quite right. So no matter what type of rotor you put on there, it's still gonna rub on the pad. Basically just like the fork. I wish I had a better fork, which is obviously not his fault. It's something that just needs an upgrade. That's my first impressions on the bike so far. I've been loving, I mean, you guys saw it. I was like up to speed with other cars, and it showed my my speed there, but I don't know what it is because it's in kilometers, so I have to do the conversion when I get home. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm also trying to figure out what to do with this kickstand, which is a little bit too close to the rotor. It freaks me out a tiny bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I am selling some of the parts. Like I sold the ChiBattery instantly to a buddy of mine, and I hope he loves it. But I am selling my stock battery. I am selling my 10-speed kit, my motor, which is a V3 motor, by the way, and it's only 1 year old. One of the bulletproof ones they mentioned in Super 73. So if you guys want any of those parts, reach out to me at my Instagram, the Peter Parker Show. That is d.peter.parker.show on Instagram. And yeah, reach out if you guys want to get any of those parts. But enough talking, and let's ride a little bit more. Hopefully I broke down most of it. I probably forgot something. I always forget something. There's always something I forget. But if something comes up in the next couple days and I remember, we'll talk more about it. There's going to be a little bit of rubbing noise going on, but that's, you know, something that's inevitable, unfortunately. And so far, even though I don't have suspension, it's been riding pretty great. I cannot complain. It's been doing pretty well. Sketchy though, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like going this fast. I might have to bring it down a little bit. I'm gonna bring it down to 4. I am glad that Ali brought it down to 2.5 thousand watts instead of 3,000 on the controller. I just feel like it's a little sketchy on 3,000, especially for an S2. Like I said earlier, I'm not the first one to do this. I'm sure there are other people, like shout out to Blue Mamba, who's probably done this. So far I've noticed that when I go so fast, I have a hard time controlling my my movements. So like I have a hard time turning, so if I'm going like over 40, I already have like trouble like turning my wheel, or I guess my bars, to the side, which is a big hazard, right? Because it's like I trust the bike, but I don't trust it that much to go that fast and curve my body like a Formula 1 motorcyclist, you know what I mean? What is 74 kilometers in miles? So I was going 45 according to this, which is pretty damn fast. A little too fast in my opinion, but that's what I'm saying. I don't want to go 70 on this. I think it's a little too much to go 70, like the homies are doing right now. And let's bring it down to 3. Let's see what the difference is. I still have really good torque. Really good. And it also has retro braking. I've noticed when I let go of the completely of the brakes, it kind of has a little bit of resistance, which is good. I like that. I like when it brakes a little bit for me. It's kind of like when you have a stick shift and you kind of you gear into, you know, you lower the gears and it kind of gives you a little resistance when the engine is kind of slowing down. That's kind of what it feels like too. All right, let's test this. 1 block. Let's see how fast we can pick up. And go. $65 kilometers in miles. So 40 kilometers, it reaches 40 easily. All right, thank you so much guys for watching. Like and subscribe, it helps me out a lot. It helps me be bigger, stronger, faster. And if you guys want to get the conversion like me, there's a link down in the description below, along with ChiBatteries and with accessories on my bike too, which I'll put down in the description below. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.